All right, let's get into it. Obviously, you just saw Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett.
Gone by round 2.
1 week later, we have Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez.
Now fighter meet her now. Trying to healthily.
The Dana White special. It's not often he decides to get up out of bed and actually do his job, but when he does, it's fucking miraculous. Pulls out the iPhone, sets up the tripod, and bang, delivers the best fights you may ever hear. But do they make sense? Absolutely not. What are the matchmakers thinking? Why is Arman Tsarukyan being passed up after his brilliant performance against Dan Hooker? Why is Movsar or Lerone Murphy not getting the title shot next? Why is Diego Lopez being given preferential treatment? I've got no idea, but we are going to break it down today. Starting with Arman. How do you do that? Is Ilya really ducking? I didn't think so. I'm an Ilya fan. I think Ilya beats Arman Tsarukyan, but the facts seem to be the facts. Arman's clearly the number one contender, and yet the UFC refused to make the fight. Why do we punish a guy like Arman Tsarukyan, who has re-established himself as the number one contender, clearly? Why Justin Gaethje is getting a shot to fight for the title, I have got no idea. And in the featherweight division, what happened to Lerone Murphy's excellent knockout over Aaron Pico? What happened to Movsar Evloev, who was the number one contender for seemingly ages? Volk said he wanted to fight both of those people, but you give Diego Lopez the rematch? I can't say I'm not happy about it. I love that fight. It was a banger the first time. It'll be a banger the second time. But I think for what's probably Volk's retirement fight, we should pick up some variants, try find a new matchup in the division when there are many contenders for him to fight. Hell, throw Aljamain Sterling in there, add a bit more legacy to Volk's career. But on a different note, the bantamweight division actually is getting moving. For once, we might not have the most active person be the champion. Well, let's not kid ourselves. He's had 4 title defenses this year. I say 4 because he's definitely going to beat Yan at UFC 323. The most active guy will forever be Merab. But Sean O'Malley is back. After a long-awaited return to contender bouts, he is finally facing Song Yadong. I think this is good for him. I know Sean needs to prove himself against a grappling-heavy style, but I think to get back in the swing of things and to avoid a 3-fight skid, he deserves a striking matchup to get his confidence back. Now, this is no easy feat. Song Yadong is an absolute beast and has stood toe-to-toe with the best of the division. But I feel like this is a winnable fight for Sean and a good way to re-establish himself as a top bantamweight contender. Umar Nurmagomedov, finally active? What's going on? He just fought the other month and now he's trying to step in there again? If the Paramount deal means that the bantamweight division is actually going to start stepping up and fighting their opponents, then I am all for it. I think Umar versus Davidson Figueiredo is a banger of a fight. Umar needs a win like this to prove that he really is in and around that number one contendership. And if he beats him, he can probably look for a rematch against Merab after Ramadan finishes, which will be mid-March. Moving on to the women, with all due respect, this is the only interesting fight you can make. Kayla Harrison makes Amanda Nunes step outside of retirement to fight once more for the women's championship belt. I think Kayla Harrison is a very strong individual, maybe too strong for Amanda Nunes, but I just remember the last time that Amanda Nunes was in a true super fight like this, and it lasted less than a minute. I'm excited to see these women go at it, and I think that Kayla's ineptness on the feet might be her demise in this fight against Amanda Nunes. Waldo Cortez Acosta, the most active heavyweight in UFC history, is booked to fight once again against the beast Derek Lewis. That's going to be a banger of a matchup. UFC 324 is a banger of a card, and I cannot wait for it. Tell me your thoughts and opinions in the comments below.